Chomps. Chomp. I said.
And the stream isn't still showing on YouTube. So
Is it
can't
not?
say. Oh, there we go.
Rip it already.
Alright.
That's perfect timing. Just about to head into qualifying. Here at Spa-Francorchamps.
It's fantastic.
For round 5. Oh no, I heard my own voice.
Alright, I'm gonna send the link. Wink, wink.
No, oh dear. If you get anyone with it, that would be mad. That would be. That'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, we've got 2 new faces.
Please, please, people, come on. Please. Let's just hope somebody gets trolled.
Yeah, this loading in screen's taking a
But it's saying in the link Rick Astley.
No,
Shit.
you're gonna be kidding me. No,
Shit, no. God damn. We almost had it. We just didn't find out.
It's not even a link. It's not even a link. You didn't. You need to.
Really? Shit!
Yeah,
it's not even a link.
You just copy and pasted the thing.
Link.
You go onto YouTube.
Shit!
You go. Let me get this up.
Shit!
Let me get this up.
Alright, you try it again.
I'm just gonna.
God, this is why I didn't want to do it, because it's on the computer. I don't know how to operate with Instagram on the PC.
Oh, right, I see. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, alright. It's Rick Astley time, my friends.
Right, then try. You try it. You try it.
I'm gonna try it. I'll try it. See.
God damn it! I failed. I failed everyone. I'm very sorry about that.
2-1 chat. Done. If it shows up with the fucking thumbnail, I'm gonna.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay,
doesn't. Alright, there we go. God damn it. How do I delete the message? Link, unsend, unsend, unsend. There we go. I never did it. No, why did you type that? People haven't seen. People could get still trolled, but you screwed it up. Come on.
No. It's reverse psychology. They don't know what they. This looks so.
Right. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we still have no viewers on the stream.
Yes, because they haven't actually got the link for the stream yet.
Is it really just the drivers that watch this?
I think so. I don't think there's anyone that would sit back and watch this. But I really don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't blame them. We're pretty boring. Well, anyway, to one person watching this, aka me, watching for comments. Yeah. So here we are in Spa-Francorchamps. Make note of the R. In the Francorchamps word. Yeah, we are in Belgium for CWR round 5 on the wettest track on the calendar. And if you thought that this would be an exciting race in comparison with the last one, you're sadly mistaken, because we're gonna be looking at cars trying to go for under 3-minute lap times around here. For 22 laps in the race and for another 15 minutes in the qualifying session. Thankfully we have 18 people here, so actually people did turn up and we have a lot of new faces here, so that gives more excitement, at least to the collisions, if not to the race. And yeah, we're just gonna see where this goes and hope it will be more exciting than last week. Of course, I'm not alone here. The famous Rick Roller, TM Ducky, is with me.
It wasn't even my idea. Pin that idea on me. I didn't do nothing.
You were the one. You were the one who tried it as well.
Nah, you're the one who sent the link without it actually being a link.
We're live. We're live. Don't.
Yeah, live to
don't.
2 people. Right. Yeah, it's going to be a completely uninteresting one because the water will slow the cars down and keep them far away from each other. So I don't see much racing happening, unfortunately. we'll have to keep ourselves occupied. But hopefully, you never know what might happen.
Yeah, let's just place bets on how many safety cars there will be during the race.
I mean, there's 18 people, 3 of which are rookie drivers.
One of them is the master planner himself, Anu.
Anu, who's in the pit lane right now, along with Cremo, 2 drivers that aren't going out. He doesn't know what he's doing, but Preston is out on a lap right now, and it's looking pretty fast. He's looking quite stable in the.
After the Williamses complete their laps, that's basically qualifying over.
Pretty much, the Williams have been completely dominating this season. They lead. What's the team in second? I don't even know the team in second place, but they lead the rest of the field.
Apparently, it's Ferrari, although it's very, very hard to actually trust that judgment, given how many spins Matt Maher and Lewis have done over the years.
They've had a couple spins, but they've been quite. I mean, although they've had spins, they've been consistently scoring points, and you've got other teams that only might have one driver really scoring points at a race. For example, Cremo for Renault, he's on his own. He's got no teammate, so he might be doing good races, but he's only scoring points by himself for Renault, which doesn't help in the constructor standpoint. And with Matt Maher and Lewis, which are 2 really good drivers that do get unlucky, but there's 2 of them, and they do end up scoring points on the regular.
Do you see what I see? Now there's 2 of them.
Now there's 2 of them. There's 2 Ferraris, and they both Spinella as much as each other. As there are quite a few Spinellas going on. A couple of yellow flags flying out on circuit. I think that's Will actually, one of the rookies making a debut this race. That's had a little bit of a moment down the Camel Straight. And it's gonna be interesting to see where those guys can place themselves. Whoa. Who was that? Was that Matt Maher? No, that was Lewis coming out of the corner there. Completely drifted it around that corner. Massive slide. It's pretty cool to see because he caught it pretty well.
Yeah, if we actually had an audience, I would be.
Yeah, there would be. We do have an audience. There are people watching as he gets the rear loose again, drifting around that corner. Somehow.
Look at that! Look at that! Gromit Cup almost made the entire corner there, even with touching the barrier and the grass, almost made the drift, but yeah, well, it didn't work. If you feel like this is boring, let's just retitle the stream to Tokyo Underground Drifting Competition.
Yeah, we've already lost a viewer. We were at 4, we're now down to 3, which is
oh, sorry.
Lovely.
I take that statement back. Please come back. It's not a Tokyo Underground Drifting competition if you don't want it to be.
It's looking pretty close.
Between the Williamses, yeah, what a surprise.
Well, Lewis is actually sandwiched between them. He's done about just under a 10th quicker than Preston's lap time, with Wrightham's actually being around 4 tenths quicker. Around.
For some reason, Jado is racing in the Red Bull.
As Wrightham's gets a little bit sideways and cuts the corner there, and yet Jato in the Red Bull. I believe he left the league momentarily, so he would have been in Racing Point.
Yeah, what exciting championship fights we have going for us.
Yeah, Racing Point would be F1 Hub and Geordie, who have both done spells in McLaren this season as well. But we've got reserve of Will J filling in for Geordie in the Racing Point, as Geordie can't be here for this race. And we've also got... we've got Gromit Cup in the Mercedes, which brings the Mercedes up to 2 drivers, rather than 1.
Shocking.
As there are countless teams that only have 1 driver, which really doesn't bring the constructors anywhere near each other, but then the drivers...
Neither does the drivers, to be honest.
I mean, well, I suppose you say that, but the drivers is mainly between the 2 Williams, but at least there's, unlike in actual F1 when it's just Lewis running away with it, the 2 Williams teammates are going head-to-head back in...
Well, if there was an option to make one's car more faster than the other in the same team, there definitely would have been a dominance.
Yes, but it's really close. Preston, as he leapfrogs ahead of Wrightham's to first place currently, just by about 200ths of a second there. He's also leapfrogged Wrightham's in the Drivers' Championship, getting a
Look at
point
that,
ahead.
Lewis actually going for fastest lap, trying to bring our hopes up.
Increases that gap to about 300ths of a second.
Right, so
really
Ferrari trying to take the fight to the rest of the field, but it's not going to last long, as we know from experience. Lewis or Skills Virus have a reputation of shutting down our hopes and dreams of having a Williams-free podium / something. Skills Virus invalidate to lap again, so yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
F1 Hub goes quickest by about a tenth, a 155.0. We're getting close to the 54s, and we could possibly drop in there towards the end of the session. But it's
the whole field is very competitive all the way to the back, with Gromit Cub and Awachi having wonderful times.
Yeah, it's looking like I was on board with Gromit Cup for a few laps, and he's struggling to keep it pointing the right direction in this wet session, as he had a bit of a spin.
Yeah, but I don't know who that was. Oh, look at that. Timbet just driving through Eau Rouge. Why not? Why not?
I mean, it happens, especially in the rain. It's hard to get Eau Rouge and Radion correct.
It's very, very interesting to see that we have 18 people here, right? We're almost halfway, we're more than halfway through qualifying, and we see less retirements. Actually, no retirements, but like in other qualifying sessions, we see more retirements in much better conditions.
Yeah, it's.
Did the drivers grow up? Did they finally learn to be patient and consistent?
If they have, there's a possibility for some decent racing coming into this one. I mean, I expect there on lap 1 to be a massive crash coming up Eau Rouge, as you just cannot go side by side up there, especially in the rain. It's impossible. But we've got most people in the pits, and we've got Trigger on an outlap, but Primo and Arnu.
And then we have a very weird.
Arnu's on an outlap now.
And we have the most weird thing that you're probably seeing on the stream right now is, who is this Jake Marsh 2005 person? Who could that be? Because in the Mercedes over the last races, there was a guy called Scuderia Alonso 14. Why is this number 2005 all of a sudden? What does it represent? Why is the name different? What happened?
He grew up and decided he didn't want to be Spanish anymore. So instead of being born in 2014, he decided he would be born in 2005.
Oh yeah.
And decided to become English rather than.
This is what modern society descends into. You can just change your birth date. You can change everything about yourself.
That's probably going to happen soon, with the fact that you can just say I want to be this and you can be it. Soon enough, someone's going to say I want to be African, and then they do it because it's their opinion. I guess, I don't know.
Let's just not get political here, because so much of the audience can get very pissed because we have such a big audience.
Such a massive audience of we actually do now. It's got. I looked away. It was at 3. It's now up to 7.
So if anyone has any suggestions on what topics should we do, like a podcast or I don't know, chat room, whatever. Let's just get the ideas going. We have 5 minutes until qualifying ends. The racing will get not interesting after 2 laps, so we still have 20 laps ahead of us.
Considering there's 18 drivers out there will be a few crashes, but it does increase the amount of people on circuit, so we could see a couple of moves, as actually Jato was tucked right up behind.
Oh, look at that. We are getting political. Look at that. Someone identifies as MapMar26. Okay.
Well, that's impressive that he was able to type that message whilst also being on circuit, but I guess Matmar has invalidated, so it does make sense. We might have to give Matmar some penalty points for driving and commenting at the same time. which is extremely dangerous and against.
Can we give
road
Jado
rules.
a penalty for saying rude things about this league?
Yeah, we'll consider these things as the session's sort of. There's a lot of on-track action, but in terms of position changes, not a lot.
The times are
really
very
has happened.
close, at least up until the top 5. But then you have people that can't even complete a lap, so what are you supposed to think about these things? Look at that, Jake Marsh smashing everyone's time, 154.4.
Wow.
6 tenths better than F1 Hub and everyone else. So this imposter... Now that's a different person driving. That's a different person. I don't believe this.
It's not the same person. It's clearly not the same person. They're cheating.
Yeah, penalty points for everyone. Yeah, let's just accuse everyone so that they can have penalty points, and the only person that's left is gonna be Anu, and that was his great plan.
That's the Anu master plan. Oh, how did we not see it before? How did we not see it before? I mean, you know, Spain, his master plan was an interesting plan. I'm not
almost
entirely
worked.
Sure
It almost worked.
And the first retirement of the session goes to Will J. Where did he retire? He retired on circuit. He didn't actually crash because his...
Can we have a safety car, just so we can increase the number of total safety cars we're gonna have in this race?
Qualifying safety car, qualifying safety car.
Because my number is at least 3 safety cars during this race.
At least 3? Okay.
At least 3, I'm counting virtual ones as well. No, with virtual ones, let's say 5.
Damn it, I was gonna say that. If you were gonna say with virtual, I was gonna say 5, but okay, I'll raise you 1, go 6.
Okay.
Okay, so closest wins.
We win what?
Pride.
Oh yeah, I always wanted to have more pride than someone from Ireland.
What was that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Man, I've had enough of this. I had a lad last night. I was doing an F2 race, chat shit about Guinness.
I never drank Guinness. I can't comment on that.
I can't do it. I can't do it. It goes against my culture, and I just can't. I can't deal with it. Like, you're gonna chat shit about Ireland. You'll get banned. You will be banned immediately.
The only things that we know about Ireland is that you guys can be aggressive and vulgar sometimes, and the rest of my knowledge comes from the song from the Cranberries, Zombie.
The what?
The song from the band, the Cranberries.
The Cranberries?
Yeah, about like the violence between Ireland and Northern Ireland. You don't know about that song?
Yes,
come on.
Yes,
it's a classic.
The violent war between those two states that was fought using cranberries. I clearly remember it.
Right.
It just lobbed cranberries over the border, and that's how it went. As Matmar goes purple in Sector 2, the game could be capping here. It lied to me yesterday, said I had purple Sector 1 and 2. I did not. So, the game could certainly be lying, but knowing Matmar, he is a very quick driver, and he's kept it pretty solid.
Not a consistent one, but, well, he is a driver. Let's just say that. He's a driver.
Fast. He's fast. He's been unlucky sometimes, and across the line, it's cap. It's major cap. So I'm going to check the race director here to actually see if that Sector 2 time was the fastest as Arnie retires. Where is the... God damn... Okay. Where is he?
We're not accusing you of anything.
Okay,
Definitely, you can identify as anything you want.
Okay, so it was major cap as... Oh my god. Looking at Jake Marsh's time, he has a 51.7 in Sector 2 on his fastest lap. On the next lap he did, a 36.1 in the first sector.
But Lewis, look at that! Oh, it definitely is a weird time, because it says that in Sector 3, even though he's just crossing into Sector 3, he's half a second faster. So let's see what that gets us, but the first of the favorites to cross the line for the final time will be... Oh, actually, it's gonna be F1 Hub. Okay. F1 Hub improves, but not by a lot. The next one will be Lewis.
I don't know. He
And
locked up
he
pretty
improves,
heavily.
but it's P3, so not
It
that
was
bad
close.
actually. Jado P4, finally
Look at
coming
those
back.
three. Those three separated by about 500ths of a second there. I mean, Lewis had quite
actually
a large
three.
lockup.
Actually, almost
Three?
almost
Is it three?
Almost
Oh.
three.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, he had a bit of a big lockup coming into the bus stop chicane. But that's a pretty good lap time. Is that KM?
Can KM get under 2 minutes? He does. So Anu is the only person with a 2-minute time. That's his plan.
As there's a Mercedes, I think that's Gromit Cup there. That's
Horizons invalidates his lap. He's not going to attack for pole position. And Preston will be the last person. What?
Matt Morrow is on the lap. Matt Morrow is coming around the final corner, but he's not on a lap. Skills Virus, however, it looks like coming across the line will improve. No.
Oh. So Preston will be the last person to cross the line and maybe improve because P7 is not championship material.
Not where he wants to be at all. Coming across the line.
And only P6. Okay, so yeah, it's a long way to go.
Not as good as he'd want to be. He was looking pretty strong at the start of the session.
It's part in the way. Anu can win this race for all I know.
But considering how close those times are, although Jake Marsh has completely smashed it, getting a 54.4, Wrightham's in second has a 54.7, and Preston is only a 10th off P2, and he's in sixth, which is not bad at all. That's really, it shows how close it is in the top six. And
yeah, it only took us 3.5 seasons to finally get a grid that shows up and has closer times together.
Yeah.
Let's just make smarter calendar decisions and force the people to actually compete, and we have a competition on our hands.
So Jake Marsh picks up pole by about 0.3 of a second. Wrightham's in second, and Lewis in third in the Ferrari there.
Yeah,
so
trying to get our hopes up. Let's just hope that he can have a better race than the last time it was wet, which was on Silverstone, and he did 7 stops, and he chose the wrong tire compound 2 times.
He was screwed over by the game somewhat there. Boxed for intos of that race, a bit too early, but at the end of this race, the intermediate conditions will be out, so it's not always going to be wets. The strategy should be
it always will be under the safety car.
But probably, yeah, there will be a safety car incident, and we hope it won't be Lewis. Crash is bringing it out.
All right, my prediction is Anu is going to place in the top 8.
And we've had a request from Dolga to watch Preston. Oh, watch Preston spin in the first lap. So there's a claim that Preston will spin in the first lap.
All right, what's your prediction? Make a bold prediction.
Bold prediction: Anu to storm through the grid and take the victory after numerous retirements.
Be more realistic. Come on.
Okay.
I'm guessing top 10.
Jake,
I mean top 8.
Considering Jake got pole by about 0.3 of a second.
You mean Jaime? Jaime, or whatever his name is on Instagram.
Alonso. I reckon he'll take the win. I reckon it'll be a lights the flag, pretty comfortable victory for him because he's a good driver and he seems to really be good in the rain.
We had a prediction. I mean, not a prediction. Preston said in the chat that people should behave themselves during the formation lap because it looks shit.
Let's see if that's true.
If people don't get disqualified. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna take a quick break. Thank you very much.
Right, you do that. I will run through the order. So, Jake Mash on pole position. I don't know why I said it like that. Jake Mash? Mashed potatoes. Anyway, Jake Mash on pole. We've got Wrightham's in second place. Sort of a usual position for him. As you know, he's in the Williams. That's usually where he qualifies. If not the top. Lewis in third. He's looking good for Ferrari. There's the strategy. It says wet to wet, but the conditions at the end of the race will be intermediate conditions, so it should be wet to inters. But yeah, no, Lewis in third, doing really good for Ferrari there, and he's going to be hoping to make up for some of the early spins for Ferrari, and maybe Ferrari can start closing the gap between them and Williams. as Preston's down in P6, which is not a very characteristic qualifying position for him, although very close between that top 6. And we've got the likes of Jato and F1 Hub in 4th and 5th, respectively, which they've done some pretty good laps to get there, and that's usually around where they qualify. So it's going to be looking really tight at the front, and I can't say who's going to win. Although I've said Jake Marsh, with these guys up here, it's going to be a pretty interesting racing. Preston in 6th, uncharacteristic qualifying for him. He's going to be looking to want to improve on that position. So he's going to want to be aggressive, but that can lead to accidents. Cremo is in 7th place, sole Renault driver, and he's looking all right in that position. He's had some up and down qualifyings over the course of the season. 7th is pretty solid for him. Skills Virus in 8th, another quick driver. He'll be looking to move up some positions. And we've got Matmar in 9th, the other Ferrari. He'll be looking to improve and maybe just...
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Consistent. Hello, I'm just running through the order.
Alright, well, just an important point to make. As far as strategy goes, everybody is starting on the wet tire. So the field is very unanimous in their choices on what the strategy will be.
And then in P10, we've got one of the rookies making their debut for this week, Gromit Cup, the 3rd Prince of Kyrgyzstan.
It's true, look it up. But we'll send you the link, and it's not going to be Rick Astley, definitely.
We've got Will J in 11th, another rookie for today. Timbed in 12th.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to interrupt you because we're going to be racing now. So the order is as it stands, and the scoreboard will be glitching as is always the case. But if anybody complains about us not taking this seriously, we definitely are, because we have 5 lights. And we have a drive-through penalty, and away we go with Timbed jumping the star. What an impressive start that was. So he's going to gain a lot of positions, and Rhythm's going to go around the outside of Jake Marsh. But, oh, look at that. Lewis spins. How unexpected. Definitely did not expect that going forward. So the hopes and dreams of Ferrari are smashed once again. And thanks to that, Jake Marsh keeps P1 with a nice gap. Rhythm's P2, F1 Hub P3, and Matmar's going to be making a move around him. So the podium fight for one of the Ferraris at least will still be there, and Cremo will actually gain some positions going into P5. Matmar making the move onto P3, and F1 Hub is out, and that's a yellow flag. Is that going to be a safety car? Probably not.
Yes,
oh, there is. That's the first
safety
one.
Car is out. That will help Lewis get back in. I don't think anyone will pit, as you're going to want to take these
Jesus. That's the first of 5 safety cars that we're going to have.
So Matmar went for a move around the outside, and I was watching on board, and F1 Hub tried to stay close to him, and I think he probably tried to take too much speed through the corner. Tagged the rear of Matmar. I was worried.
Yeah, kind of. I don't think that was like deliberate. I think that was just a racing incident. That was just like a tap from the rear.
Yeah. What happened to Lewis standing to turn 1 was I think someone overcooked it going into T1, completely collected his rear end and spun him round.
Well, can you serve the drive-through during the safety car?
I don't know. No, you can't.
I don't think so.
There is some carbon fiber.
Maybe Cremo. Maybe Cremo will go into the pits because he has a 5-second time penalty. I don't know if that's a stop and go. Maybe not. But yeah, Timbed had a wonderful start. I mean, like, wow, just three positions gained off of jumping the start like that. That's very impressive.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I'll have to serve it after the safety car, so he'll drop himself right out. But Skills Virus, I thought I saw some carbon fiber go flying, and he picked up some front wing damage.
Someone's going actually into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's Skills Virus. Is that J2 as well?
Both Red Bulls. That's not good.
Is it a wing change? Arnu has a 5-second penalty.
Right, okay, so Jado is going to be changing his front wing and also the second Red Bull.
Yeah, they both have wing damage, and that's going to hold up Skills Virus massively.
Okay.
Is that Matmar? No, it's Lewis in the pit lane. Front wing change. KM with the wing damage, Modu as well got wing damage, Skills Virus, Lewis wing damage.
As we promised, we should invite those guys that DNF during the race so we can actually make this race kind of exciting.
And the interval is insanely messed up as it's finally sorted itself out. No, not quite.
Don't expect it to. It's just as messed up as this race will be.
It's quite insanely messed up. We've got Jake Marsh leading this race, with Wrightham's in second, Matmar third, Preston fourth, and Cremo making a few positions up to fifth, although he has a 5-second time penalties. But Will and Gromit Cup are making pretty good ground. I mean, Will doesn't have a penalty, and he's managed to get himself up into 6th place behind Cremo, who has a 5-second penalty, so technically he has the net position of 5th place. Timbad's got the drive-through, he has to serve, and Gromit has a penalty, as that's a hat of Ivan going a little quickly around the outside there. And now more people. Awachi, the other debuter, collecting trigger and getting a 5-second time penalty. I'm gonna have a look at the penalties real quick and see what people have. So, KM
safety car of the day, but there definitely will be more.
First of many, and it came on the first lap. So, XRT Cremo has 5 seconds. Timbed has a drive-through. Gromit Cup has 5 seconds. Trigger's got 5 seconds. Awachi has 10 seconds. Anu with 5 seconds. And KM with 5 seconds.
Come on. Anu gained 6 positions. I mean, that's kind of impressive. And he's gonna get more because Skills Virus apparently maybe has connection issues, just as is always the case.
Is he disconnected again? Or is he... No, he's looking alright for now.
It says
he's been passed. He's been passed by KM there, which is interesting. He's gone back. That was interesting. I don't know why KM drew alongside him, but he did. But
right.
No, yes.
So if you want to know, the competition for the longest lap possible on the F1 game is exactly what you are seeing right now. Safety car around wet Spa after a pit stop. Lap times around 3 minutes. Wonderful. That's the league race that you signed up for.
Yeah. There's going to be more of this to happen. Awachi served one of his many 5-second time penalties in the pits there.
Question of the day. Question of the day. Oh yeah, actually that's true. You can prolong the lap by doing a 5-second stop and go and changing your front wing in the pits. Good point. Yeah. So, question of the day is, what is less exciting? Last week's Spain race without a safety car and in dry conditions, but boring as hell, or watching the cars go round, at least together, in the safety car conditions around wet Spa? Go. What's less exciting?
I'd say Spain was less exciting because they were so far apart, you just had nothing to look at. And although they're under the safety car conditions, it's, they're going to get underway at the end of this lap for sure. So we could be looking at some interesting racing. Preston Button's also got something.
We got one sector of racing at the start of the race. I don't imagine it being much longer than that, to be honest.
There was someone going for a move, and that move came unstuck. They had a collision, and that's what brought up the safety car, unfortunately. But it's good to see that they are actually going to race a little bit of side-by-side action as the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Jake Marsh will now start to control the pace of the field.
I can assure you that at least 2 people will spin out because of how slow the pace will be in the wet conditions, and then everyone will push on the throttle.
Oh yeah.
I think at least 2 people will lose the rear end on the restart. And Jado gets a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, Jado gets a 5-second penalty, and there's some people. Oh, there's a crash actually. Lewis,
look at that.
No, it's Lewis
again.
Lewis
again.
Modu. Has he got wing damage? That's just not.
I
How
mean,
did that happen?
why were you
How?
excited about Lewis performing well in qualifying?
He's so
It's
unlucky.
just so toxic to raise your
He's got
hopes about the
major.
Ferraris.
He's got major front
All
wing
right,
damage.
here we go. The restart. 2 Williamses, second and
Matt
fourth.
Maher alongside. Matt Maher alongside with Wrightons. To send it down the inside into turn 1.
Almost touching the rear end of Jake Marsh, but he's gonna
Side
make the move.
by
Look at
side,
that!
and
Actually,
he's got it.
Preston.
He's got the move, and it's opened up for Preston to go through as well. And they're going to go side by side up Eau Rouge. The Williams could end a disaster. No, Preston thinks better of it, drops back behind, and stays ahead. Will Wrightons have enough to go for a move? No, he won't. He's not going to try go for a move at the end of this. He's going to conserve his ERS and fuel as he sits behind. But Matt Maher up into second, which is great to see.
Well, for a while, the Ferrari curse is still present in every race, so I wouldn't be.
Let's not curse him. Let's not curse him. Let's leave him. Let's leave him be. Let him do his race.
All right.
And hopefully he stays where
Well,
he
the top
is.
4 has a good chance of actually finishing the race in the top positions because they're the only ones without a penalty and without a pit stop just yet. And the rest of the field, like Jado and Lewis, had to stop again when the safety car, ended. So poor them.
Ooh, that's a spin. It's Ivan.
Spin.
He's going to solidify, and hopefully people don't go into the back of him. As his drop
And
right down to the
as
back.
Anu gains another position. Woo!
Anu up into the points paying positions, and he's not
I'm
too far
telling you,
behind
top
Trigger.
8. Top 8 for Anu.
As there is a spin, and that's Ivan. That's Ivan again. He's in the wall, actually.
Thank God.
That's gonna be some
Thank God.
major wing damage. He
He's
actually
carrying the
doesn't have any-
curse. Oh,
Oh,
Timbet
that's
did,
Timbet. Timbet's out.
And
That's
another.
safety car.
And I think there's gonna be more than 5.
Timbet's crashed out there.
This is gonna be
think
more
he
than
got a
5.
little tag. You have a little tag, and yeah, we've had 4. We've had not even a full lap of racing yet.
What did you expect?
Combined, we've had about three sectors. So combined, we've had a lap of racing. But so far, we have not had a lap of
I
racing
mean,
yet.
if you're looking for an exciting
we've got
interview, you're not gonna get it. All I'm gonna ask the drivers, what was more boring, and that's about it.
Trigger and Awachi have boxed. We've gone green, and that's Anu up into P8. Making some really good headway here.
Yeah,
Anu.
I told you, top 8 for Anu, definitely. I mean, he still has a penalty, but he can do it. He can do it. Right, so lap 5. The only lap without yellow flag conditions just yet, as most of the troublemakers are in the pit lane, or not on the lap yet, so that's probably why this is happening. But Jake Marsh trying to pull away from the rest of the train there, and he's actually succeeding. No, there's the yellow flag. Okay,
Ivan,
great.
Again, Ivan has spun.
Matt Maher is going to be under a lot of attack from the 2 Williamses. And then Cremo trying to catch back up to the front train. Gromikup and Will still not out of the competition. And then there's Anu, creating distance. So he stays out of the inevitable carnage that he's going to create in front of him. And he's going to pass them all and win the race. So that's what he's doing. And behind him, the skills virus in his computer, apparently. Can we start calling Skills Virus the Alonso? Because, he has a virus in his computer because he disconnects a lot, and it's also an Alonso quote. No? Okay, never mind. It's a very complicated reference, I understand.
Yes, yeah. I don't think my brain is big enough for it. He's in the points though. Anu has a 10-second time penalty.
Yeah, that can be negotiated. Wait. Are we actually going to complete a lap without a safety car?
I believe we
are.
As someone
We
pushes
are.
the pits, that's Preston. Preston in the pit lane.
Okay, so he's going for a 2-stop. Definitely. I mean, it kind of makes sense to go into the pits now, because if he said that the inters will be later on in the race, that gives him a very fresh set of tires until... He's on the inters.
He's on the intermediates. He's felt it is time for the intermediate.
It's very unfortunate that we don't have access to what the drivers feel the track is going into. We can only guess what the rain is like. But okay, that's a very bold strategy call.
It
And
looks
the
like
rest,
it's the
and
correct one.
oh, look at that!
It
Jado,
does.
Ivan, Trigger, all going into the pit, so they're gonna gain some
Yeah.
time on the rest. But look at, they only entered the pit lane, and the rest of the field is already in the beginning of Sector 2. So they're very close to being lapped, and it's only lap 6. So imagine what the damage will be like.
Preston is getting caught up between a battle with Skills Virus and KM, as Skills Virus is an AI and he goes through him.
But look at the amount of pace. Look at the amount of pace.
The intermediates is the correct way to go.
Yeah,
He's got so
around the
much
outside into No Name. That's a show of pace right there. So he's gonna gain a lot of time from the pit stop. He wasn't held up by anyone, so the undercut might just work. And he'll gain some positions, definitely, as the rest of the field will be coming in probably this lap, and it's going to slow everybody down.
He is only 19.6 seconds behind Jake, and I think it's got to be about a 20-minute as
And they're not going in.
Mattmar and Wrighton stay out on track. They don't feel it's time. Jake and Cremo box, along with Gromit Cup. Will stays out. What will Arnu do? Arnu stays out, therefore the staying out on the wet tyre is clearly the correct way to go about things. Everyone that's pitted for the intermediates is terribly mistaken.
However, man. Arnu controls the weather. He's gonna make it more wet. He just wanted to trick people.
I don't think...
Oh, look at that! There's a move for the lead from Rhythms. Or actually, no, Mattmar was second all along, but he's trying to make the move. He didn't make it work through Eau Rouge, but Lakon isn't the place to make the move for the lead. He's gonna have to wait a little bit longer than that, but them battling helps everyone on the Inters even more. So they might just be screwing each other over right now. I mean, it's expected from Mattmar because Ferrari's strategy planning is yeah, it's very terrible. But Rhythms, I don't know what that decision. Well, like, what's his mind process at the moment? But oh, look at that! Preston actually jumped Jake Marshall virtually. Preston is in the lead right now.
Yeah, okay. Lead for Preston. However, I think what Mattmar and Rhythms are doing is they're trying to go as long as they can on the wet tyre.
And then they're trying to extend the one interset until the end.
So they don't have to box again for another set of inters, because I feel that it's a bit early. And I think Preston and Jake might have to box again for another set of intermediate tyres before the end of this race.
Could be. I think, you know, the weather is very unpredictable, so it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, well, they are closing around 5/10 a lap. So, will we see them box this lap? Yeah, okay. Rhythms and Mattmar box this lap.
But they did extend it 2 laps more than Preston, which around Spa means a lot more than on any other circuit.
As that's Will coming into the box, and Arnu as well will have to serve one of his 10-second time penalties as Preston will now leapfrog him.
Wait, 10 seconds?
He has 10 seconds, yeah.
Oh, so come on.
Past they go. Yeah. It's going to be close, actually. Tell you what. Coming out of the pit lane here is Rhythms. Yeah, they've just got the overspeed to keep ahead. So, not well.
Oh, look at that.
Virtual safety car.
Number 3.
How did that happen? Oh, it's,
Jato retired.
Ivan and Jato.
Okay.
Ivan is crashed out and Jato has retired.
5 retirements and we're not even halfway through the race.
Yeah.
How is it possible that we're dropping viewers as the race goes on? We've had 11 at the start. We have 4 now. And the 2 of them is us. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. I think mainly because we had some of the drivers that were racing and then they crashed out and they don't want to see the circuit again, so...
Yeah, I agree with them. I don't want to see Spain again.
We're up to 5. We're up to 5.
We're up to 5?
Yeah, we're up to 5.
What do you mean up to 5?
Viewers.
Oh, okay.
Hello, viewers. Super GT here. Anyway, we go back to green. Mattmar has been the biggest loser at the top 4, as he's lost big time. compared to everyone else. I'm going to have another look at penalties because that's Gromit Cup and KM
with drive-throughs.
Drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, which will give Anu another position. Anu in a great position right now.
But the 5 seconds
could hurt him, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, Rytims is closing up to the back of Jake Marsh. He's on the 1 lap fresher intermediates, while he's also 2 laps fresher than Preston. Matma sort of dropping back. Big lock up into the bus stop chicane. Double lock up, not going to be good for your tyres.
Yeah, well, I'm actually counting on Cremo to do some damage to this top 4 train, because he's been very consistently behind them, but in a kind of a safe distance, without being vulnerable to any kind of carnage, but able to capitalize on any mistakes that they might do. He's still on the correct tire without a penalty, so he's still a promising candidate to actually hurt any of the championship contenders right now. And Preston is the first out of the
time penalty. Yeah,
that's not good.
Drifting wide,
but it's probably for the best to at least extend the championship battle a little bit further, so we don't see a Preston dominance that soon.
I mean, at this rate, Rytins will go ahead of Preston again. If it was the race was to finish here, Jake Marsh and Rytins would jump Preston. I even think Matt would jump Preston as well.
We still have half a season to go, so I don't really mind someone getting a little bit lower in the standings for a while, because they know and we know that they're all good, so they're gonna jump back up.
So we might have a move on here. KM closing up to the back of Lewis. Will he go for a dive down the inside? He thinks better of it. Stays behind for now. I don't think he'll be close enough for another move for a little while yet. So we move our eyes back towards the front. Matt Meyer is going to try his best to try.
Well, actually, KM went for. Oh no, Lewis let him through. Never mind.
Oh.
That's high quality racing right there.
As Will gets himself a 3-second time penalty, Lewis is hugging the back of KM. Will he stay behind here as he's got the overspeed? He bumps him, he taps him. Is that front wing damage? They both go off. And yes, that is front wing damage for Lewis as he forces... Okay, Lewis has put KM in the wall.
Intentionally?
He didn't leave him a lot of space on the outside.
And he bumped him, number 4. Number 4.
He hit his rear. Coming around that long left-hander.
Wait, Anu is DNF. No!
No, did Anu DNF?
No!
No!
Come on! Come on!
Oh, that's Anu. He's got it all out of shape there, and he didn't have any tyres. What the hell? For a second there, he didn't have any tyres on the rear of his car, and it was just...
that explains why he's DNF'd. The Haas masterhood of mechanical engineering and pit stop mastery always proving to be essential in the result of Haas cars.
I think what we'll see here is we'll see a flurry of pit stops for fresher intermediate tyres.
Yeah, so the strategy that Rythims and Matmar opted for, to go behind them and wait for the pit stop, not really worth it, to be honest.
No, and with that incident that happened, that caused the safety car at this corner, Lewis sort of went straight for the back of KM, which sent them both out wide.
Was it intentional, though?
Coming here, he just did not leave any space on the outside. From the angle I saw, it looked, it certainly didn't look very sportsmanship-like.
Well, I can't blame him. The frustration really is kind of getting to him. But not the explanation to act like this.
We'll have to wait and see what actually happened, get the onboards from each driver. But from what I saw, it was Lewis tagging the back of KM, pushing them both. They both went off circuit, and then Lewis didn't let KM come back on circuit, and it caused an accident in which KM ended up in the barrier. So, no, not exactly good. As Jake Marsh stays out, Preston goes into the pit lane. So you get a fresh set. Right team stays out and Matmar stays out. So they've opted for track position rather than the fresh rubber.
Well, so Preston will be on the attack. But I guess everyone else is just counting on another set of 13 safety cars over the course of the race.
Primo and Will have also pitted, as the amount of 5-second time penalties has completely eradicated. They don't exist anymore. We've had 18, we're now down to 11, 7 retirements, 4 safety cars. You said 5, didn't you? And I said 6.
Yeah, I think you're gonna win. We're only halfway through the race and we already had 4.
Yeah, it's whittled the order down a lot, but I can see Lewis maybe having an accident again with maybe a Watchy. But I think after that, actually, the order will be whittled down so much, we'll be left with those drivers that can actually keep it on the circuit.
Well, I wouldn't be counting on that, to be honest.
To be honest, I think you might have got it spot on with the 5. I reckon. I mean, I can't change my bet now. I think I said 6, and I think 6. But if I could, I'd say 5. I'd say, realistically, I think there will be 5 this race. I think there'll be 1 more, and then that's it for the rest of the race.
Well, I would love it to be right, but I'm still counting on actually the number being a little bit higher. So you're gonna be the one that wins pride over someone from a country that nobody can find on a map. That's what I call ego boosting.
Well, a lot of these drivers that have crashed out, the 3 rookies that are debuting are still amongst those driving. So to be honest, there could be 6. You never know what these guys might end up doing. But so far, they've done a pretty stellar job. And
yeah, I think they signed up for the wrong thing. I think they've been signing up for last man standing.
Yeah. Well, it does certainly seem to be that if you can keep your car on circuit, you might end up scoring some points at the end of the race.
Yeah, that was Anu's strategy, but he became the victim of his own system, apparently.
He became the victim. He DNF'd. And it did not pan out the way the Anu master plan was supposed to pan out.
Maybe the Russian ownership of Haas kind of got to him.
It might have.
Maybe Mazepin is manipulating it from the side somehow.
As for some reason, Will's AI decides to break trigger and does it again. This is why you don't go into AI mode. So Will be picking up a penalty for doing that, as it's now forced Trigger to pit. I mean, it's completely not Trigger's fault. Will being in his AI decided to brake test Trigger twice, causing some front wing damage. And I think the rule is you're not supposed to pause and go into AI mode, so that'll be a penalty for Will. We've got Gromit Cup in 6th, Primo in 5th, Preston 4th on the fresher intermediates. He'll be looking to gain some positions.
However, Anu's watching the stream! No way!
Oh, our new master plan has arrived.
Oh my god, I'm fangirling so much right now.
It's made the stream 10 times better. 10 times better. Yeah, we're gonna rope in so many viewers now.
Oh my god, it's jumped down to 5. Never mind.
God damn it, we were at 7. What happened?
What are these people doing? It's been 11 at the start of the race. Where is everybody going? I mean, to be fair, we did have 3 viewers on the Spain's race, and the third one was Trigger giving us questions to talk about about car liveries and all that. So
yeah, we've had no questions about testing, but I guess that's because Trigger's still in the race.
We have 4 now.
Oh my god, people are just leaving. They just don't want to listen to us.
Jesus, what's wrong with us?
What have we done?
Maybe we need to do a counseling session for each other, like for ourselves.
Maybe.
Talk about our own issues.
Yeah, well, I don't see Preston doing too well here. He's got the 3-second time penalty. He's got the fresher inters, but he's got the 3-second time penalty. And 10 laps to go. It's going to be a tall order.
You don't know what's going to happen at the front of the pack for the next half of the race anyway.
We don't. as we look to get going again soon.
Well then, let's do so. Half the field is wiped out. Let's wait for the other half to get wiped out too.
Yeah. Okay, so
last man standing in CWR is beginning yet again, with safety car number 4 finally coming to an end.
All looking pretty
That's
tidy.
very close. That's very close.
As actually, Matt moves ahead of Right Teams momentarily. As he's eager to go. He's eager to go. He's looking racy.
Yeah, Matt wants to get revenge for Lewis's many wrongdoings during the race, but it looks like Right Teams is going to be on the attack. Oh, look at that!
Oh, yeah, a really good start. He had to switch it, and that sort of led a little bit.
And he overshot the corner.
And yeah, he locked up, overshot the corner. That's Matmar down the inside. Right Teams is going to try hold it alongside. Are they going to go side by side through?
Don't do it.
No.
Thank God.
Right Teams sensibly slots back behind, and that's Matmar back up into P2. And
wow.
Now, for the next 10 laps, is going to be defending, as I think Jake Marsh will begin to run away with this, although Matmar is closing up behind. Will he look to go for a move here? No, he sits behind, which is sensible. Preston's tucked up. Matmar runs a bit wide. Preston... Oh! Right Teams almost runs into the back. He gets a little bit of oversteer. Preston's through. They're going to go side by side through this little hairpin. And they're really not helping each other going side by side this much. Preston's going to have the inside
at least it's hurting the Williams dominance, so I don't mind them fighting, to be honest.
That's Preston ahead.
But Cremo will join the fight now.
Cremo joining in on the back of this one, as that was close in Preston. From the outside
actually
to the
having
inside
actual racing without collisions, is this what it takes? Just eliminate half the field to finally have some clean racing.
Oh, Preston gets on the curb there, almost loses the car, but so does Right Teams. Which is going to promote Cremo to get even closer to try and go for a move, as it does look to be a little heavier down that section. The rain, at least, it looks like.
Jake Marsh had a terrible restart. He lost the rear end on the start-finish straight, and Right Teams just saw the opportunity, but got overexcited.
Cremo goes to the outside for a move into the bus stop chicane, under braking. Right Teams, sorry. Both lock up, but Right Teams was able to defend the position there.
I think Right Teams is facing a reality check after what happened at restart number 4, when he got overly excited about the opportunity. I kind of overshot the corner, which cost him actually 2 positions. So virtually from the lead of the race, he's gone back to P4, but he still doesn't have the penalty that Preston has. And we're still counting on the inconsistency of the Ferraris to do some damage to Matmar as well. So Right Teams is still well within a shot of actually getting the lead of the race. But Lewis from P11 up to P6 now. So is he making a comeback finally? Or will he spin again?
But he's looking to chase down those top guys. If he can get ahead of Preston, he'd have.
He still does have a penalty though.
He does have that 3-second time penalty, whereas Gromit does not. But Lewis looks to be the quicker driver at this stage of the race, as he's begun to.
Matmar is losing touch with Jake Marsh though, just over 1 second, and the rest of the train is kind of tight. So yeah, Jake Marsh will be probably running off with this race if he doesn't make an individual mistake there.
Yeah, and I don't think he will. He looks to be really comfortable in the wet here. He's 1.2 seconds ahead, 1.3 now. As Preston's actually closing up to the back of Matmar. I don't think he really needs to fight Preston altogether too much, as Preston has the 3 seconds. I mean, sure, you want to keep him behind as long as you can. But I wouldn't be the end of the world if Preston were to get past him, as with that 3 seconds, he'd be able to.
He's kind of under pressure there, but if he decides to risk it and ends up hurting himself even more, I don't know if that's worth.
As Lewis is actually joining up to the back of this lead group here. So
that's what I'm talking about, the comeback of the Ferraris. Maybe. Well, look at that, fastest lap.
Goes defensive. Ooh, he went defensive to the inside, but then moved back onto the racing line. Cremo isn't going to have an opportunity to go down the inside here, as it's Eau Rouge, as Skills Virus, I think, has gone into the pits. Upper Rouge, if he gets a better exit out of this corner than Wrightham's, he can go for a move, but Wrightham's had it pretty solid through there and had the overspeed. Although Slipstream's coming into effect now, but I don't think he's close enough to go for a move, and he'll have to settle to stay behind for this lap again.
Wow, so much clean racing. Oh, look at that, Lewis with another penalty.
Yeah,
Well,
just took too much curb.
That's it down the toilet, but yeah, so ever since the 4-3 start, we have clean racing finally. So maybe even I wasn't right after all about the 5 safety cars, but there's still enough time to do that. Wow. So like the top 6 is kind of together, and the rest are falling behind. So is this the Ferrari comeback?
Perhaps it is. If I was Matmar, I would be feeling pretty relaxed right now. I mean, sure, you're under a lot of pressure, but Wrightham's is sort of losing touch with Preston, dropping back slightly. And Preston has the 3 seconds, so not too much of a threat. And Matmar has actually been able to rope Jake Marsh back into within 1 second. So the battle for the lead is not over yet. He's managed to get it down to 8/10, and he runs wide.
On.
He just
we cursed him. We cursed him. I think we cursed him.
He ran wide, picked himself up a penalty, which...
Come on. And Lewis now, making a move onto Cremo around the outside of the bus stop, and they're still side by side. Cremo taking evasive action off of Lewis's aggressive driving, going into turn 1. Lewis has the inside, and Cremo very frightened of how aggressive Lewis is being, so he just lets him through, but he knows he's going to get the position back from him anyway at the end of the race, so not to be worried too much there, but Cremo certainly had a panic attack of how aggressive Lewis was being in that whole overtaking maneuver.
Yeah, wheels were banging there. There was some contact between the tyre walls, but nothing too severe to cause any...
Well, at least the end of the race is far more exciting than the Hungary and Spain races were kind of...
As that's Preston. Preston is very close to the back of Matmar. He was sort of weaving to see if he could go for a move, letting him know he's there.
Yeah, both of them have the penalty, so this is an on-track battle, but both of them are going to lose a position to Wrightham's if he doesn't get a penalty himself.
It's lit a fuse under Preston to certainly know that at least P3, a podium, is on the cards now. Matmar's just got to keep his cool and stay ahead, and if he can go quick enough, they might be able to pull away from Wrightham's as they were doing.
Yeah, this is looking like it's shaping to be just a championship fight between the Williamses, but together they're definitely going to win the Constructors as it stands, because just the amount of penalties that the Ferraris have, they're going to be losing positions in the race where they're very far up, on track at least. So like the hopes of Ferrari actually getting back is very minimal, and already the Ferrari is P2 in the constructor, so basically no one else has the chance to come back and take down the Williams. So unfortunately, yeah, I think the constructors are settled already, and we're only on round number 5 out of 12.
Yeah, not even halfway through the season yet, and it does seem as though Constructors is pretty much settled. Racing sort of down, gaps forming. I mean, Preston's close to the back of Matmar, but through the Kevin Straight, he might actually have a better run here. Slipstream coming down towards the chicane. He's not, no, the straight line not close enough. His wheel's picking himself up. As Matmar actually pulls to the inside and drops behind.
Okay.
That was an interesting coordination there. He pulled to the
He
inside.
knows what he's doing, apparently. Is this the Matmar master plan?
They might be together. They might be together. And, I mean, Matmar pulled to the inside, dropped himself, broke quite early, let Preston go past and dropped himself off the podium. I guess...
I don't know what that was for.
No, I guess Preston's aim is to try and catch Jake. I think they're in a party together. They must be.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's just... How did that conversation go? Is this team orders? Ferrari team orders, god damn it.
Between people that aren't actually teamed.
Yeah. Party
I
orders,
guess
then.
It could be Preston asking Matt to see if he can slow down his teammates so that he can at least stay ahead. But For Matmar to sacrifice himself for someone who's in a completely different team is quite a...
It's a Ferrari thing to do.
Yeah, I suppose. Lewis is going to be tight as to whether he'll keep P6 even. He might drop down to P7. It's going to be close, like on the cusp, but yeah, a lot of drivers locking up into the bus stop. As Rytums is now all over the back of Matmar, but Cremo is also all over the back of Lewis.
Yeah, it's such a shame that we don't have DRS here and dry conditions, because this would have been an actually interesting battle to watch, but no, we're just going to be looking at, you know, changes of positions as people swear at each other in the party that we are not part of.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened, because Matmar has suddenly dropped off the pace, and he's about 1.4 seconds behind Preston now.
I think that's very intentional.
So
of trying to hold up Rytums because of the penalty.
Yeah,
but why would he do that for him?
And he's done that. He's dropped down behind Rytums.
And he's going to lose 2 positions to Lewis as well, so...
Matmar is dropping.
Matmar...
What is he doing?
This is not why you don't... This is why you don't do deals with the devil.
He just moved to the inside again, hit the brakes hard, and let him pass.
Can we nickname Preston the devil?
Maybe. I don't understand what's happened there, but he lost out to his teammate.
And now he's going to lose maybe even position to Cremo, so Matmar...
He's going to lose a position to Cremo as well.
Oh my.
He had the opportunity. If he stayed where he was...
Matmar losing is basically losing 10 points off of a conversation.
All he would have lost was P2. He would have probably even kept P3, maybe even had P4 if Preston was past him.
And it didn't help because Rytums has now clear air to catch back up to Preston, and the penalty will take effect. So actually, both of them negotiating this together will not help either one of them.
I don't even know if that was supposed to be negotiated, because he let Rytums pass the exact same way he let Preston pass.
What was that?
I'm baffled. I'm completely baffled as to what his aims were, because he's dropped himself down to 5th, which will then eventually turn out to be 6th.
I mean, when I was commentating the Austria race at the beginning of the season, I mentioned that Preston is corrupt, and then he commented on the YouTube video laughing about it, but it turns out maybe he is. Maybe he really is corrupt.
Maybe he is. Yeah. I mean, Williams suddenly looking strong again. Ferrari repair were looking good, but they're going to drop down behind Cremo. Cremo will get P4 at the end of this.
We gotta appreciate Jake Marsh's consistent driving at the front. I mean, he's not extending the lead, but he's not making any mistakes and not losing too much time either, so maybe these conditions actually do suit him, and maybe they even suit a lot of drivers. They just don't suit the commentators at all. No. I'm talking about Hungary, Spain, and now wet Spa. Wonderful. What's the next race on the calendar? It's Austria.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. Hopefully it doesn't rain. If it rains, I'm gonna... If
it rains, well, I'm not gonna be attending anyway, so...
Oh, yeah, I'm on my own, of course.
And then, of course, we have to have an exciting race. France. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, well, Lewis is going to be happy about France, so hopefully he actually does well there and doesn't fuck up, because if he fucks up at France... that's the F word. Yeah, he will be cursed at France. I hope he doesn't get cursed, but, yeah. The Ferrari
curse do hope.
Might curse him at France, and it would be unfortunate.
Well, Matmar, out of ERS, out of life... out of everything, and Cremo is on the attack. Look at that, into the bus stop. Maybe even going to the inside, not good enough. Matmar managing the brake zone quite well, but Cremo still has a lot of time to overtake him, and he has the resources to do so. He's now pushing the overtake button to the limit to try to defend, but Cremo is probably saving up for... the Camel Straight.
He's got 45% ERS.
That's Matmar under a lot of threat right now. Matmar, after whatever that was, letting everybody through, is going to lose basically 10 points. Who knows if not more, thanks to the penalty. Oh my, Matmar, what have you done? Cremo around the outside, going into Lacon, and he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. That's P5. And Lewis actually overtook Rhythms. Oh my. Okay.
This is looking worse and worse for Matmar. If he drops outside of a 3-second range from Lewis, he won't even pass him, and he'll be.
Jesus. I mean, kudos to Lewis going from last place to third, but the penalty count is not helping him at all.
He'll be fifth. Yeah, no.
Oh man. Preston still hopelessly trying
might
to.
Even keep P2 here.
Maybe, but he needs to count on the fact that Lewis will start being inconsistent. But I mean, he just needs to survive 2.5 laps. But Preston's still hopelessly trying to get the lead of the race, at least on track. But Jake Marsh is not slowing down for him. The communication barrier is still not there between the Spanish and the British person. Oh, I'm sorry. I think they're both British now. Never mind. Yeah, but Jake Marsh is actually extending the gap almost over a second, so yeah, Preston not looking too great. But yeah, we're not smarter than the scoreboard, so after the race is finished, we will be able to judge what the penalties did. Right now, we're very clueless around the gaps because they keep changing each inconsistent corner there is on this track in these conditions. So we have 2 laps left, and yeah, the scoreboard, I mean, says it all. It looks like no further battle will be taking place. We're just gonna be waiting how the gaps will end up towards the end. Gromit Cup, even though he's driven quite well and quite consistently, is not going to get the... Oh my... Wait, Matmar. That's another penalty. What the hell happened? Come on.
He's just had him there again, and it
Come
seems
on.
to be a constant thing. Yeah, track limits. I mean, he had it all, and
He
just
lost
gave
it
it all
all.
away. I don't even think he lost it. He gave it away. He just didn't want it, I guess. I don't want this. You can have it. There you go.
This is how people are resisting the Williams domination. They just give in.
I mean, I'm confused by it. I really am. I don't understand it at all, but I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. And Preston is... He is about 2/10 or negative. So he's 2/10 off keeping his P2. He needs to get 2/10 ahead of Wrighton more, and he'll hold P2. But as of right now,
Preston has fresher tires, I think. So
and Wrighton's been passed by Cremo. So Wrighton's made a mistake. Wrighton's has made a mistake into the bus stop chicane. That's dropped him.
we're gonna have Cremo on the podium after all.
That's dropped. Yeah. So
Finally,
Cremo
a good result for Cremo, but he needs to hold it throughout the entire lap, and the Camel Straight is still in front of him, so that's not a good indication to holding your position when you have the championship leader kind of by 1 point behind you. But it looks like the pace of Rhythms isn't so great. He has no ERS. Tires are much older than Cremo's, I believe.
A penalty. Rhythms has a 3-second time penalty.
Also, Preston actually will. He will stay on the podium. I think Cremo will get P2 in the end, but Preston will stay on the podium at least. So Preston will extend the lead in the championship after all. And yeah, the Preston dominance of the Williams will probably continue.
This has been a
depressing,
slightly disappointing end. It's just been dominated by the penalties, and there hasn't been much racing. I mean, there were some interesting battles.
Alright, so we're gonna come back to the question. Let's just come back to the question of the day. What is less exciting? The Hungary race, the Spain race, or this one?
Spain race. Definitely.
still a very enthusiastic Spain hater.
There were some really interesting battles in this race, and for the most part it has been interesting. They are quite close together.
Well, look at that. Lewis on the last lap into the bus stop.
dented on the inside of Preston. I
But
don't see the
but
problem.
Preston will hold it, and oh, that was very close. But Jake Marsh wins. Consistent drive, deserved it. Cremo
Primo gets
P2.
P4. White's
Okay,
P4. Matt Maher P6. Gromit
and the
Cup,
rest.
the third Prince of Kyrgyzstan in his debut race, gets P7.
The winner of the last man standing competition.
He crashes himself out over the line, and actually Trigger, from getting brake tested by Will J twice in his AI, has made a great recovery drive to get up to P.
Can you invite everyone to the interview while I go for a quick break?
So it was Jake Marsh, Preston, and Primo. I think I have Primo. I might not have Primo. I might have to get Preston to him. Oh, I gotta ask what happened with Atmar. So we need Preston. Okay, I have to search for him. Preston. There it is. Add him to the party. We need Jake Marsh in here as well. Oh wait, okay.
Okay, so who do we have in the party?
No one yet. I sent an invite to Preston. Just sending one now to Jake, and I don't have Cremo, so when Preston gets it, I'll have to get. Although I don't even think I have Jake either, so.
Oh,
Preston.
well, that's not good. That's the state of the race. We're just gonna have to pick out certain moments that were kind of exciting.
I mean, I have one thing I want to ask about, but we'll wait for Bruno to get in here before we start that.
That was a very hard race.
Wet Spa, not fun. And I have to look forward to doing that tomorrow.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yay!
GG to Jake. He drove a really good race.
Thanks.
Alright, so who do we have here?
We've got Jake and Preston.
Where's Cremo?
I don't know.
Not joining once again.
Okay. So before we start, can I ask just Preston to like mute yourself when you're not talking because the background noise is kind of piercing my ears.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, wonderful podium interview. We can't have everyone here as is always the case, but anyway, here we are. Controversial race, boring race. Just tell us in general what was the race like, both of you.
It was a very dull but exciting race for me. I didn't want to streak ahead, because we went to the Inters really early, and my focus as soon as I went to the Inters was just get the tyres to the end, so I spent the entire time knowing Matt Maher behind couldn't overtake, because I was getting much better exits, and just saving the rear tyres. When they made it comfortably to the end, I had a messy final lap, but the rest I just tried to keep it as controlled as I could. It was quite fun.
Well, did you say it was boring, this race?
Yes.
Do you think I was boring? Well, we have to do some other stuff. What do you want? Just crashes and stuff then?
No, we want the opposite of crashes, but we saw a lot of them.
I mean, it was just hard. It was hard to overtake at Spa because the dirty air sector 2 horrible. It's horrible. You lose about 6 to 7 tenths, and it's just not great. But
yeah, we have to ask Preston what was going on between you and Mapmar at the end of the race.
At the end? Oh no, that was Lewis.
No, I mean, why did he let you through?
Oh, we were in a party together.
And?
I thought I was faster than him throughout, and I think I was, to be fair. But he was running a low downforce, he said, so I couldn't get past him. So I said, do you mind letting me through? He was like, yeah, sure, just do it where we don't lose that much time. And
okay, so it was team orders after all, but then the strategy backfired and he didn't hold up rhythms, so he actually lost out a lot in the end.
I did want him to hold him up in a way, but for the constructors overall, it was good. And in the end, it didn't really matter because Rhythms got a penalty, so extending our championship lead, which is good. And Jake in the championship fight, possibly after this race, so it's all good.
Okay, so it was team orders, but not in the way that we presumed. Okay, what does this mean for the championship for the both of you?
Hopefully it gets me back in it. This is like my 4th podium of the season somehow. Because CWR Alonso picked up 3.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, weird guy. But, yeah, Mercedes aren't really in the championship fight because I haven't had a teammate really for most of the season. But hopefully I can get somewhere back in the drivers' championship.
For my drivers, I extended the gap by 3 points, so not big margins, but small margins. Going into Austria, I'm confident. I like Austria, so.
Is Cremo back in the championship fight?
He only gained 3 points on me, only 6 points on Rhythm, so I don't know. Unless he can pull something mega, then possibly, but I doubt it.
Alright, question to the both of you. What do you think about the Ferrari's inconsistency, but still somehow managing to be still P2 in the constructors?
Well, they have 2 drivers, unlike my team, for example, and that's a big help.
Yeah, if they can get a solid result, like if they don't get into any crashes or anything, because I know Lewis spun turn 1 because Tim had the drive-through because he jumped the start, so he got spun because of Tim. But yeah, if they can pull a solid result, maybe they can catch up to Williams. But me and Rhythms, we're looking really strong at the minute.
Alright, well, thank you for attending. We're gonna end it off here. So, after another weird race, 3 weeks in a row, we'll hope we can have a more interesting one around Austria to mark out the halfway mark of the season. And hopefully better things will come off of that. The Williams dominance probably will continue, but to find out, you just gotta tune in, and let's hope we have more than 2 other viewers on this stream. So thank you, and good day then.